Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing tonight? Episode number 369, Drink Until You Podcast, the only podcast that lasts until the last drop. How the hell is your Sunday going? How the hell was your week? Hope everybody's okay. I hope you're safe out there. Congratulations, first off, to the damn Dirty Birds. Oh, Chris, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. Congratulations, best in the NFL. You won the whole thing. I thought I noticed something a little different about that team. I hadn't watched them over the course of the season. I had no idea they were going to make it that deep. But something about the way they just beat the hell out of the Commanders. I thought they actually had a chance against the Chiefs. And they did exactly what you have to do to the Chiefs. You know, there's all these conspiracies about, the refs helping the Chiefs and, looking the other way on certain things and not calling them to help them out, and they did exactly what you have to do. They came out and just got ahead and never got behind, never let the refs get into the game. I don't know if the conspiracy is true. There are some questionable things for sure. I will totally agree with that as far as calls and non-calls, but they did it perfectly. That's exactly what you have to do. So this first drink, as a Cowboys fan, I normally wouldn't do this, but you did win the whole damn thing. Credit where credit is due. My first drink is to you. Cheers. And you might ask me, are you turning into an Eagles fan? Never, ever, ever will I be an Eagles fan. But it was, just from a fan's perspective, it was impressive. It really, really was. How many times did they sack Mahomes in that game? It's like 7 or 8. I mean, that you just executed perfectly. And that's a big deal, I think the only other loss the Chiefs had this season, and they avenged that loss, was to the Buffalo Bills. And that was a super close game. This Super Bowl, not close. Not close at all from the start. I mean, they came out hyped. The Eagles did, and they never let off the gas pedal. And they won the whole thing. It was pretty amazing to watch. I missed the whole halftime show. I didn't watch it. I know you guys think I was being sarcastic about watching the Puppy Bowl, but I actually did flip over during the halftime show to watch the Puppy Bowl. And it's cool what they do too. They actually play the episodes from years past, and I guess until the game's on, and then they do this year's. So just all day long on Animal Planet, you just have these cute dogs, these cute puppies, and they bring out the kittens too at a certain point. That was my halftime show. I know there was a lot of fuss about the halftime show. I don't know what everybody's talking about. I missed it. Commercials, I didn't really see any commercials that were too funny. I mean, I didn't see a lot of commercials, to be honest, but there was an odd one in there, and I don't know if my mind was playing tricks on me. I was trying to, I was flipping back and forth between channels, so I was missing a lot of commercials, but there was one in particular where I, caught, halfway through to the end. And maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm just making things up. Was there a commercial where two men were, sitting there watching a football game, and they were putting Ready Whip on top of their beer? I don't know if my brain made that up or not. But yeah, I think I did see that. I couldn't even tell you who the commercial was for, what brand it was for. Oh, it was Ready Whip, wasn't it? It wasn't even a beer commercial. I'm pretty sure they were drinking beer, and then they were using the can of Ready Whip and I've never seen that before, and it also sounds disgusting. And I gotta say, for someone who was talking so much shit last week about not being into the Super Bowl and not really wanting to watch that much, I sure did watch the whole thing from beginning to end. I was just too interested as the game grew closer in if the Eagles were what I thought they were going to be, and they did it. They did it. Runner-up isn't bad. They stopped Kansas City from a three-peat, which is a historical moment if they could have done it. But yeah, the Eagles were just too strong, man. And that's a shout out That's a shot fired, maybe I should say, to Jerry Jones. We don't have our shit together. You know, we're not. We got a long way to go before we get to that level. I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. And then you see Dak Prescott after he sees Philadelphia win the Super Bowl, and he says he's not happy and like, we're next. You know, it's on us. We're next. It's like, Dak, shut up, dude. Shut up. Stay healthy. I know that's somewhat out of his control, but it's like, stay healthy first. Play a full season. Win a playoff game. You know, and then you can start getting cocky. Like, I don't know where his mind goes to. Like, he thinks we're playing on that same level? I mean, I can almost guarantee you if it was the Chiefs versus the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, we don't win that thing. You know, we can't even make it there, dude. You know, and he is the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. I am a nobody. I realize that. I'm telling him to shut up like I'm somebody. I'm not. But just from a fan's perspective, shut up, dude. I'm going to be honest. Shut up. You really think it's your turn? You think we're next? Like, we just get to snap our fingers and we're just going to be that team next season? No. I love the Cowboys with all my heart, but no. It's just not going to happen. I don't know what the hell he's thinking. I get it. He's trying to be a leader and trying to light a fire under the guy. That's not how you do it, you know? That's just called being delusional. I don't know what else to say. I heard an interesting rumor today, or I read an interesting rumor about possibly, I think the Browns are done with Watson. And if things go according to plan, somehow they might make Jerry Jones an offer for Dak Prescott that Jerry Jones can't refuse, which would be, I mean, I'm going to be honest, it would be kind of funny to see Dak in a Browns uniform, traded away to a team we rarely ever play. We'll never have to see him again, for the most part. But who's gonna play quarterback for us? That's the thing. You know, with all the Dak hate and all that, it's like he's still, you know, I don't want to say top tier, but you know what I'm getting at. He made it to the NFL to start for a team, okay? And that team is the prestigious Dallas Cowboys. Now, he hasn't done anything with it, but, I don't even know who's up for grabs as far as quarterback. I mean, would it be a straight up, like, would we get Deshaun Watson instead? I don't know if that's a good thing, is it? Isn't he like trouble in the locker room? Hey, that guy's missing a muffler. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a lot of weird rumors. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. So we'll see. Great game, though. Great game. I sure did watch the whole thing, man. Aside from the halftime show, and I missed a lot of commercials, but it was a great game. I'm not going to lie. I was very entertained. You know, and I was torn about it. You don't want to see, as a Cowboys fan, the Eagles win the whole thing. But at the same time, do you really want to see Kansas City three-peat? Would have been cool either way, I guess. But yeah, the Eagles pull it off. Congrats to them. I'm going to go ahead and have another little sip here. Cheers, everybody. Moving on to this weekend, and currently the Daytona 500 is happening after so many freaking rain delays. Dude, I was there with, like, my pizza ready to start it. They moved up the start time to 1:30 today. I was there with my pizza, and then it's like they get 11 laps in, and the rain starts to come down, and they have to all, you know, pull off and wait for the rain. They all have their cars covered. You know, they're doing all this and that. They have, like, track drying technology. I guess they drag a giant vacuum behind some cars on the track to try to dry it up. So it's like I'm sitting, it's like the same thing that happens. It's like it takes you 30 minutes to cook your dinner, 30 minutes to an hour to actually, like, make your dinner. And then you sit down in front of Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus, And it's like before you know it, before you've actually picked something, your food is just gone in front of you. And it's like, well, I'm not going to watch anything anymore. It took 30 minutes to an hour to make and 5 minutes to eat. Not enough time to get into a movie. So it's like, that's exactly what happened to me today. I just ate the whole pizza and I watched 10 laps of racing. And I'm just like flipping it on to Game of Thrones because, they're just in a rain delay for like, it had to be like 3 hours. I think they came back out and did like another 10 or 11 laps. And then the rain hit again, so they all had to pull off. It's just like a bitch. It's like all that hype, all that adrenaline, especially for the drivers. It's like, it just kind of kills the momentum of the sport. But yeah, man, I did actually watch that Duel. They do the Duel 1, the Duel 2. It's got different drivers in there. I guess this is how they're deciding placements for the Daytona 500, which is kind of cool. Like, it's such a cool concept. I was talking to my friend who got me into NASCAR probably about a year ago. And I'm like, wait, isn't that like the biggest race? And he's like, yeah, they start off the season with like the biggest race. I'm like, that's kind of cool. I like that. This is the Super Bowl, like right immediately, So, I watched that Duel 1 and Duel 2 on Friday, and I gotta say, man, these drivers, I'm sure they're all great people, but they gotta have a fucking screw loose, dude. Like, just how fast they go, damn near 200 miles an hour. You've got to be somewhat insane, right? It's kind of like a hockey goalie. You have to be somewhat insane to let someone slap shoot a rubber disc at you that could kill you potentially if you don't have the proper gear on. Even with the proper gear, like, it can still fuck you up. It can still break a bone very easily. They have those little neck guards, so you wouldn't really take it to the clavicle, but yeah, these dudes are fucking nuts, man. I'm very new into the NASCAR thing. I always knew they went fast, damn near 200 miles an hour. But until you actually watch it and you see like how close quarters these guys are in, like going that fast. They had a wreck today. I can't remember who got hit today, but he actually took out his he got bumped from behind, and then he spun out. He actually hit his teammate up against the wall, so it's like they're out of the race. Dude, they're going so fast. It's absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe it. And then after the Duel is over, I think they only do like 60 laps or something for that one. After the Duel is over, like, the drivers are just outside of their car just talking like they weren't just going a zillion miles an hour. Like, this is a dangerous, dangerous thing they do, like, weekend to weekend. It's nuts, man. They're absolutely nuts. And I should have expected this, but like during the Duel, it was like Christopher Bell. He was hanging around bottom, dude. Like, he was 20th place. His name wasn't even showing up on the screen when he dropped down further. It was like 23rd place, 24th place. And I flipped the channel. I forget what else I was watching. Oh, I was watching, was it Game of Thrones? Because UFC was Saturday. But I flipped the channel for, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. Like, NASCAR went on a commercial, and it's not like the commercial where they're still showing the race, but they're, playing the audio of the commercial. It was like a full-blown commercial. You couldn't see what was happening during the race. I'm like, all right, I'm going to flip over sorry, I just bumped the mic. I'm going to flip over the channel, and I watched something for like 5 or 10 minutes, and like I said, Bell is like 20th place, 24th place. He's just down there at the bottom. And I flip back over in 5 minutes, and this dude is like in 6th place. Like, it's unbelievable, but this is why I love him. He might be in a bad position, but he's going to make up the ground. I didn't even see how he did it, honestly. I didn't even see how he made up the ground, but it was impressive to see him jump that many cars Mr. Consistent, as I call him. You know, he's not going to win every race. I think he's a bit younger the way they were talking about him on the broadcast, so he's still got a bright future ahead of him. But I love how consistent he is, man. He's always ending the race in the tops, at least the top 6, you know, maybe top 8. But yeah, coming back from that far down it's crazy. I don't know how they do it. It was so cool today too. This is the last thing I'll say about NASCAR, since I don't know a definitive who's gonna win the race. I know Logano won the first. Did they call it a leg? Logano won the first leg, which is good for him. That's gonna build his points. But they were showing in the broadcast before the race start, you know, like when we're getting all the adrenaline, I'm like getting my pizza ready. I was like sitting down to watch the race. I'm like, I'm excited. I can't believe I'm actually watching a race for once. Like, it's last season, I just did so horrible with actually sitting down and watching a race. So I was super excited. My adrenaline's pumping. You know, the duels got me. The Duel 1 and the Duel 2 got me. Dude, I'm addicted now. Like, I get it. I totally get it. And I haven't even been to a race live. If I went to a live race, dude, I mean, I don't even know what I would do. I'd go crazy. I'd like start fangirling out over all these drivers or something. But anyways, what they were showing in the broadcast today before the race started, when everybody's getting all hyped up, is basically like how they use each other. You know, obviously there's like a Ford team, there's a Chevy team, there's a Toyota team, which Christopher Bell's on. And they all use each other to actually like gain speed. So I think there's a top speed these cars can go, which is maybe one, I mean, I don't know the specifics, but I have to assume it's 185-ish. These cars are like the max speed. But the way they actually go like 193 and 194 is by like lining up, you know, like one behind another. And it's not just pushing, it's just like the wind going over 3 cars. It was so cool how they showed it. But yeah, just like the air going over the cars helps them, and them being in a line. You know, if you're too far back, the resistance is going to be more. If you're on the guy's ass, hopefully your teammate's ass, you know, and you have another guy behind you, you guys are fucking flying as a team. And I was super impressed. I mean, I've already picked my driver. I already like him. Like, I'm not going to change teams or change drivers, but I have a couple of other guys I root for. Since my friend's a Blaney fan, I'll root for Blaney. You know, if he finishes top, he's on the Ford team. You know, I'll be happy for him. It's not like that. You know, it's pretty much like every other sport. You know, I haven't found a driver I don't like yet. But it's pretty much like every other sport aside from football. Football, I'm Dallas Cowboys all the way. That's the only team I watch. That's the only team I keep up with. You know, I see scoreboards and, you know, I'll watch the Super Bowl if it's not my team in it still and all this and that. But like hockey, basketball, baseball, like I root for so many different teams. So it's not out of the ordinary to root for different drivers on different teams for me. But dude, I gotta say, man, like Toyota is technically my team since I'm a Christopher Bell, like, fangirl, as I said earlier. But I love how the Ford team moved. And that Duel, I think they were in Duel 2, where you have Blaney and Bell and all those guys. I love how the Ford team moved. Like the way they just boxed. It was like the first 4 cars were all Ford cars. And they're like pushing each other and, you know, boosting each other and, you know, doing that. You know, lessening the wind resistance on each other by being so close. And I loved how they moved, dude. It's like they blocked out the rest of the track for a lot of the race. Now, I will say, during that Duel, was it the Chevy team? Or what? I think it was Toyota, actually. But, I mean, Ford had this thing on lock. They had the first 4 cars in the race coming down to the end, which is only like 60 laps, I think. And Toyota just out of nowhere, 2 drivers, I can't even remember who they are, just busted up on the outside and like made it a race at the very, very end. And from what it looked like, the Toyota team won. Like, he crossed the line first, for sure. The only thing that he officially didn't win, the Toyota driver, was, I guess, the caution light came on, and whoever's winning when that caution light comes on is the technical winner of the race. It was kind of bullshit. You know, like the driver crossed the finish line, I mean, very close by a nose, beating out the Ford team, the first guy in the Ford team. But then they go back to the caution light, and whoever's in the lead was the guy in the Ford team, so he technically won the fight. I think that's kind of bullshit. It should just be about crossing that line, shouldn't it? Crossing that checkered line. But yeah, Ford took that win. I'm guessing that gave him better position in this race tonight. I'm gonna get back in and watch the rest of this race, whatever's left of it, since there was such a huge delay. Dude, this thing probably should have been over by now with all the rain. If it starts raining there again, I mean, this thing might go till midnight. I don't even know. I can't stay up that late watching it, but yeah, man, I'm super excited for this season. It's awesome. I finally got to sit down. I watched the duels. I'm watching Daytona 500 today, even with all the delays. Belly full of pizza. It's fun. It's fun. I'm addicted. I'm officially a NASCAR fan. So let's go ahead and have another drink. Cheers, everybody. All right. Moving on. I have not been watching any NBA games. I especially have not been watching any Dallas Mavericks games. But did you guys see the video of Mark Cuban? Like, they're saying, like, fire Nico, and people are bringing signs. The Mavericks organization is kicking their own fans out for, like, having an opinion, which I think is such horse shit. Like, what happened to the Dallas Mavericks organization, dude? This used to be like family, bro. Mavs fan for life. All that shit. And these fucking assholes come in here and they're tearing everything down. You know, they're like destroying the unit. And I'm telling you, dude, I do know a few people who have been hardcore Mavs fans for years that just, I mean, they're not even interested anymore. And for good reason. I totally get it. I've been a Dallas fan my whole life. I can't say necessarily I've been a hardcore Dallas Mavericks fan, but yeah, I absolutely watched them lose the championship to Miami. I absolutely watched them avenge their loss and win the championship against Miami. Like, I will watch my Dallas Mavericks. I'll catch a random game more than anything, you know, definitely some playoff games. But yeah, dude, it used to be like family, man, and it's just not like that anymore. It's so upsetting. It's so disappointing. That it can all just be torn down like nothing ever happened. Like, I didn't go to Reunion Arena when I was a kid and watch this team, even though they sucked. I've said this so many times before. As a kid, it was always like an extra treat if they won that game that you went to, that you got to see live. You were already having a good time, but they actually won? We knew they weren't going to make it to the playoffs, you know what I mean? And if they did, they weren't going to go deep, but it was still like, you know, those are great memories for me as a kid, and it's like through all those years, you know, building up this fan base, and it's like Mark Cuban is just like being a fucking douche now, you know? Like, there was that video of him the other day of him telling fans, they were like chanting fire Nico behind him, and he's like standing there clapping for whatever's happening on the court, and he turns around and tells them to sit the fuck down. Sit the fuck down. It's like, Mark Cuban, I don't know what the fuck happened to you, and I don't know who you think you are, but I can guarantee there's not a lot. There might be a few. There's not a lot of tough millionaires and billionaires out there. Like, you should not be talking to people that way at all. I don't give a fuck how much money you have, dude. Because you wouldn't say that to anybody on the street. You would not talk to, if you were out on the street with no security team by yourself, you would not talk to anybody like that. You know why? Because they'd beat the fucking brakes off of you, dude. You got a lot of fucking balls, man. After everything he did to build up this team. You know, all the culture he created for the Dallas Mavericks in this new era. And it's like he has the nerve to sit there and tell paying fans to sit the fuck down. Fuck you, dude. That rubbed me the wrong way. I don't like Mark Cuban anymore. And maybe some of you are like, I never liked Mark Cuban. I sort of did because of the things I said. The way he built up the fan base, the way he built up the Mavs family. That culture we had that existed, that's being torn down currently. But he's going to sit there and tell fans to sit the fuck down? Fuck you. That's the fans' voice. It's literally their voice and also their wallet. You know what I mean? If Mark Cuban told me to sit the fuck down, oh my God. They would have to make me leave because I would give him a fucking earful. I don't give a shit how much money he has. No fucking talk to people like that, Mark Cuban. Asshole. That just pissed me off, dude. These people literally paid to get into this game and are buying merch and are buying because they have an opinion that doesn't line up with yours. You're going to tell them to sit the fuck down? No, dude. You can talk to your fucking grandma that way. Don't come talking to fans that way. That's bullshit. That fucking pisses me off, man. But yeah, I mean, I think it's all, and I have a few friends that are thinking this, and they've told me this. I mean, I think they're doing it all because they're probably moving to Vegas, which would be so, like, tragic. You know what I mean? It would be so tragic if Dallas didn't have a men's professional basketball team. Like, we've always had that shit. Ever since I was a kid, and before that. And through those tough years, like, we struggled for so long, and we finally broke through with Dirk, and it's like, and you're going to treat people like that, paying fans like that, really? Oh my God, unbelievable, unfucking believable. That part of the team that you sold, Mark Cuban, those fans put in that money for part of that money you got for selling the team. By the way, they built up those dollars in your bank account. And you're going to disrespect them like that? I'm over it, bro. I will like I said last week, I will watch a Bulls game. I will watch Oklahoma City Thunder. That's my new fucking team. That's my new home team. I've always liked them since they've been in the league anyway. I like the three they had, Harden and Durant and Westbrook. Yeah, dude, those were good teams. Unfortunately, they never won it because they were so young and inexperienced, but they had some great fucking teams. But I denounce the Dallas Mavericks. Not the players necessarily. Not Jay Kidd. I love Jason Kidd. He was as surprised as everybody. But yeah, management, no, fuck you guys. You guys are dickheads. I'm over it. But yeah, I think that's what it has to do with. They're gonna move to Vegas, which is really shitty. It's like, okay, if you're planning on moving to Vegas, could you at least not destroy, like, I don't know, the fucking culture you helped build? Mainly speaking to Mark Cuban. Nico doesn't have shit to do with it. He just, I don't know what the fuck he's thinking. I guess he's not the owner. Was it the owner that was getting booed walking to his seats? I can't keep up with it. Like, as far as I knew, Mark Cuban was running the thing. I know he sold his portion, but like when he sold it, I don't know who's doing all the shit now. I don't know who these people are anymore. Yeah, but fans have every right to boo, and you also have every right to not show up and not feed in and not give them your dollars anymore. Pick a different team. I'll buy a fucking Oklahoma City Thunder jersey tomorrow. You know what I mean? I'd rather spend it there. So anyways, let's go ahead and take another drink. Rant over. I don't know, man. It just drives me crazy. It irritates me that they can treat people like that. And it's like, I already said it all. I already said everything I need to say about it. You know how I feel about it. It's not right. Anyways, I did catch a little bit of UFC. That was some good fights there. I can't remember the dude's name, but man, it was like the way the dudes ended up, like one dude ended up on top of the other, and the dude on top had like a Darce choke, and you couldn't see his opponent's face. Like, it was underneath the guy on top's body. Like, the ref couldn't see his face, the camera couldn't see his face. And we didn't know if the dude was out, dude. And the ref kind of like circling around is finally like, okay, that's it. Like, the dude's not fighting back. That dude on the bottom, that was close, bro. That, I feel like, I don't know. That was close to like one of the first ever like deaths in UFC. That dude had been out for a minute. His eyes were rolled to the back of his fucking head. Thankfully, he came to really quick. That was kind of scary. You know what I mean? Like, I'm all for fighting. I'm all for submissions, all that shit. And the way the guy on the bottom was like tied up, like he had one of his arms and his neck caught in the Darce choke, but they were like laying on top of his other arm. How are you supposed to tap out if that's the case? You know what I mean? Like, for all we know, he could have been trying to tap out. We just couldn't see it. You know, like, what are you supposed to, like, click your heels together as the other sign for tap out? I don't know. Like the fucking, what's her name? Wizard of Oz. Yeah, there's got to be another signal for, like, I mean, I guess the other signal for, like, I'm out of it is not moving anymore, and that's kind of why the ref jumped in and was like, all right, it's over, it's done. But yeah, it was a good set of fights. I did miss a couple. I caught some prelims. I caught the main event. That was a pretty good one. I think next week is the big one, right? This one was at the Apex. There were people there. But it's not like one of the huge, like, numbered events, I guess I would call it. But still, a good set of fights. Lots of fun to watch. I was flipping between UFC and USA playing Canada. Now that was a fucking hockey game, man. And not just because USA won, but dude, I guess I didn't really, before this Four Nations tournament started, I really didn't think about how much the players cared about it. Of course, like, playing for USA is an honor. Playing for Sweden is an honor. Finland, all the teams in it, it's an honor to play for your country. But I didn't realize, like, how intense it was going to be. And boy, oh boy, was it intense. First 9 seconds of the game, there were 3 fights. Yeah, it was, I mean, big hits, 3 fights to start it off. Canadians booing the national anthem. I mean, it's just like adding fuel to the fire. It's not over yet, though. USA has a commanding lead. They have 6 total points. I think the next closest is 2. So they're just, it's not over yet. We're probably going to have to face Canada again, which you better bring it all that game. If you want to win it all, you better bring it all. You better play the way you played on Saturday times 2. But yeah, dude, that was a fun ass game. I really, honestly, I'm not even going to lie. I planned on not watching a lot of these games. I'm in now. I am in. Those Kachuk brothers, dude, I love them. I know neither of them playing on my team, but I fucking love them. I love how, we've always known they're tenacious. You know what I mean? Like, if you grew up watching hockey, you watched their dad play. You knew he was not going to put up with shit. You knew he was a tough son of a bitch. But now you got brothers of that father on a team, dude. They're fucking, I don't want to say they're mean, because it sounds like they're doing dirty shit when I say it. Like, they're not doing dirty shit. They're hockeying at, like, the highest level with aggression. I love it, dude. 2 brothers teaming up on Team USA. And, they're not the whole story, obviously. They got a whole team around them. But, yeah, it's just so cool to watch those 2. And they don't even play on the same team. You know what I mean? Like, so it's so cool to see them united against any team they're playing. It's really cool, man. I'm loving the Kachuk. Not to say I'd never, watched them or liked them before. I did. But, when you bring that tenacity against my team, of course, I'm not going to like it as much. But you can definitely see that fire in both of them. And it's so cool to watch them team up. How cool would that be, playing for the USA with your brother. Like, that's too cool, man. I think that's so cool. So yeah, there's still more to do. It's not over yet. We haven't won that puny little Four Nations Cup. I mean, it's really hard to, like, that's got to be one of the hardest things, is to, like, to design a trophy for, like, extracurricular hockey activities. I mean, they did it perfectly with the Stanley Cup. Like, that's the best trophy. I don't care what anybody says. That's the best trophy in all of sports. You can't top the Stanley Cup, in my opinion. The size of it, the etchings in the side throughout history, the fact that they retire those rings when it gets full into the hockey. I mean, it is the best trophy. If I could pick any trophy to win, if I could snap my fingers and somehow magically learn to skate backwards, learn how to stop without pulling someone else down or using the board. If I could magically compete for a trophy, it would hands down be the Stanley Cup. That's the best trophy in fucking... And it's a fucking cup, dude. You can drink beer out of it. Come on. It's the best. You can't drink the fucking beer out of that World Cup round piece of shit. The beer falls right off. I mean, I guess the Four Nations is a cup you could drink beer, but it doesn't feel as epic, you know what I mean? It's like a quarter of the size of the Stanley Cup. And the things the Stanley Cup has been through, I mean, my team, for example, fucking Ludwig throwing it off the second story and it, like, getting dented up on the side of the pool because he tried to throw it in the pool. I mean, just the stories behind it. The untold stories from that Stanley Cup. The stories we may never hear. It's the best, dude. It's absolutely the best. But they did what they could. You know, they designed the Four Nations Cup, and it's cool. It's got 4 little handles, so you can grab it with your 3 best buddies. And take turns taking shots out of it, or drinks, or whatever. But, yeah, dude, I'm invested now. I'm ready to see what's going to happen. The Four Nations tournament isn't over. We've got the most points, but it's kind of like that thing. It's like we're on to the championship game, and, you know, just like the Chiefs found out, it doesn't matter if you only have 1 loss. If you lose that last game, you lose the championship. It doesn't matter if we beat Finland 100-1 in that championship game. They're not counting that. We got the points from it. It doesn't matter if you beat Canada 16-1. If they see you in that championship game, I mean, they're going all out, dude. And they got fucking McDavid. They got Crosby. You know, it's going to be a hell of a game, dude. Expect fireworks. If you've missed the Four Nations tournament, I would highly recommend you tuning in to the championship game. It's especially, I mean, I assume it's going to be USA versus Canada, but especially if it's USA versus Canada, because it's going to be fireworks, man. So, anyways, that's going to do it for me for the night. I'm going to go in and watch some NASCAR. But yeah, be safe. As always, don't drink and drive. Treat yourself to an Uber. Treat yourself to a Lyft. Treat yourself to a DoorDash. Just be safe out there, everybody. If you got them, drink them. Bottoms up. Cheers. I say bottoms up, and I'm drinking out of a straw. Anyways, I will talk to you guys next week. I love you all. Bye!